So Jill Stein had a media appearance on CNN, and it went just about as we'd expect. Check it out.
Are you the Bernie Sanders of the Green Party?
I think you could say the Green Party itself is Bernie Sanders. I'm not unique in the Green Party. I think what's different between Bernie Sanders and myself, or the biggest difference really, is that he was trying to have a revolutionary campaign in a counter-revolutionary party. I'm basically inside of a revolutionary party that supports this agenda and is not working like the Democratic Party to basically bury that agenda.
One of the things that Bernie Sanders critics hit him for was how. How do you pay for these things? How do you offer free college tuition and erase all of the debt that students have racked up? Somebody has to pay for that.
Well, it's actually pretty simple. You may recall that we bailed out the bankers, actually to the tune of about $16 trillion if you include all the free loans. But it was about $4 or $5 trillion worth of quantitative easing, which, as you may know, it's kind of a magic trick. That's really all you need to know about it. But basically, it's an expansion of the money supply. It doesn't actually cost taxpayers anything. So if we bailed out the guys who crashed the economy through their waste, fraud, and abuse, it's certainly time that we need to bail out our younger generation, who we rely on to really lead the way forward into the economy of the future. And in terms of the cost of public higher education, it's really important to remember it pays for itself. We were counting very carefully when we used the GI bill to pay for free college for returning soldiers. And what we found after World War II, for every dollar that we taxpayers put into that, we got back $7 in return in revenues and benefits. So it's actually a very good investment for all of us.
Hey, man. Jill Stein gave that lady a lecture on economics, man. That was awesome. All right, so first thing I want to point out here is that host questions annoyed me to no end. First question, Jill Stein, Green Party candidate, independent human being. Are you Bernie Sanders? That's basically what she asked. And Jill Stein, of course, being a progressive OG, the one thing she pointed out with that question that's freaking spot on is that Bernie has been trying to wage a progressive revolution in a counter-revolutionary party. And yes, we've had progress with that. But with Jill Stein being in a third-party setting, there's no establishment corporate sellouts trying to hold her back from within the party. So pretty damn good reason to give Jill Stein a vote. Now, the host's next question was face palm worthy, man. Face palm worthy, okay? So Jill Stein, even though we waste trillions of dollars on pointless wars, tax cuts for the rich, and giving bankers cum shots of money, how are we going to pay for rebuilding the American middle class? And Jill Stein, she smacks that right-wing nonsense out the park, man. She brings up the trillions upon trillions of dollars we spend bailing out the financial firms that destroyed our economy. And from there, use basic logic. Instead of spending our money on that crap, how about we spend our money on the youth of this country? They're struggling under over $1 trillion in collective student debt. How about we alleviate that debt and make college tuition free? Jill Stein, oh my God, man. She's so freaking awesome. She even brought up the GI Bill as proof that tuition-free college works. Come on, man. When will these people learn their lesson, man? Don't try progressive OGs like Jill Stein with that right-wing crap. You're going to get embarrassed. Don't try her like that. So I'm glad that Jill Stein is making a mainstream media appearance, because the more she gets her name out there, the better her shots are at being competitive in this race, especially if the media tries her like that, man. Throwing softballs out here. All right, one last thing. At first I said, I'm basically supporting nobody in a Hillary versus Trump general election, but Jill Stein, she's really calling my name, man. I'm not officially declaring support, but I'm getting to that point. I gotta weigh all the options before I make anything official, but I'm getting to that point. So yeah, do not sleep on Jill Stein.